Veteran Salute is sponsored by the DeVaughn James Injury Lawyers.
A Wellington veteran volunteered for service during Vietnam. He thought he would give about 2 years.
Well, as Gwen Bevel and photojournalist Nick Kiefer show us, he ended up retiring as a captain.
That's right. Doug Smith says he figured out quickly how much he truly loved the Army and flying. He flew dozens of missions in Vietnam where he delivered supplies, fought the enemy, and flew those who were wounded or lost their lives on the battlefield.
Most war stories, when you're talking about that, start out with "this is no S" and there's 3 letters after it.
And Doug Smith has a few of those stories and also very fond memories of his time preparing the next generation of Army officers.
With a smile spread across your face, and we knew that we were about to face living hell for the next 25 weeks as you molded us into the officers that met your standards, which were higher than those of the Army.
That was written by one of the platoon Smith trained. Even his drop bunny, as in drop and gimme 20, made the pages of the annual. The greeting also wished the officer good flying as Smith was preparing to go to flight school.
When I was in basic training, you know, the cadence songs, "I want to be an airborne ranger, I want to live a life of danger," was ingrained in me.
But in Ranger School, Smith figured out while airborne was fun, the landings were not.
I got into my PLF, parachute landing fall. My feet hit a scrub oak that was 6 feet in the air. That absorbed most of the energy. I landed on my head. That was God telling me don't do it anymore.
What he did do was deploy.
Vietnam, that's what I wore.
Smith was a member of the Big Red One as the first ID fought in Vietnam.
I took it to heart, and I did the best job that I could do.
He vividly remembers being shot at and many close calls with the enemy.
Harvey's got a lap full of hand grenades. And we take off, and he's throwing hand grenades about 3 at a time on each pass. And we're having a great time.
That was until Ghost Rider 6 made the 3rd pass.
Pulls the pin, flips the handle, drops a hand grenade on the floor of the loach. There's a cyclic there. It's rolling towards the pedals.
Smith says he managed to get the helicopter shifted enough that they were able to kick the grenade out.
I told Harvey when we landed, I said, "You don't tell anyone and I won't tell anyone."
Smith still has one of Harvey's pins, as weeks later Harvey would be killed, just like so many others during Vietnam. And some of Smith's missions were to fly those who had lost their lives in battle.
I looked over my shoulder and I saw the horror in those guys' face. I'd never seen so much blood in my life.
Smith saw so much from above as he logged more than 1,000 hours in a loach, never taking for granted what he'd signed up to do and the stories he would live to tell.
Excluding family get-togethers, Vietnam was the best year of my life.
The 1st Division has a museum in Chicago. Smith was recently chosen as one of 6 to share his story or stories from Vietnam. Here for you, Gwen Bevel, KSN News 3.
Tonight, we salute Doug Smith for his service during the Vietnam War.
The DeVaughn James Injury Lawyers here with one amazing helicopter pilot and a member of Kansas' very own Big Red One, and that's Captain Doug Smith, who served our country during Vietnam. On behalf of all of Kansas, thank you for your service.
My pleasure. If you're going to be one, be a Big Red One. No mission too difficult, no sacrifice too great. Duty first.
Veteran Salute is sponsored by the DeVaughn James Injury Lawyers.